Hi, in this demo, I'll quickly go over the FortiSASE SIA dashboard, configuration, and some of the security features including web filtering, application control, and data loss prevention. So let's get started with the dashboard first. Under Users and Devices tab, VPN Session Monitor provides information on logged in users, their login time, tunnel source IP, and traffic generated by each of the endpoints. Moving back under the Endpoint tab, by just hovering over the device name, we can check the device vulnerability status. Similarly, other FortiView tabs provide insights into top sources, destinations, websites, applications, and much more. Now, let's move on to the configuration and look into the user onboarding process. Here, we can define secure LDAP server for remote user authentication. Later, under VPN Users tab, we can pull remote users or user groups from the LDAP server or upload a CSV file with user details to create local user on FortiSASE SIA portal. We can also set up single sign-on services on this portal by following few simple steps. FortiSASE portal also provides option to import certificates for SSL inspection and secure LDAP configuration. Under the Blog Pages tab, we can define custom blog pages for all of the listed security events. Now, let's take a look into policy configuration. The remote access policies work on the principle of default deny, and the security admin has to allow application and services for each of the user groups. Remote access policies can be configured to allow traffic based on source user, destination can be either IP range, FQDN, geography, or we can select destination from ISDB database, which contains over 1500 signatures and is continuously updated and maintained by FortiGuard Labs. We can further restrict access by just allowing relevant services for each of the user groups. Now, in case SSL deep inspection is enabled under global security policies, we can override that action by enabling certificate inspection per remote access policy. For the sake of this demo, I will allow traffic from all users to all destinations and will rely on security policies to take appropriate action to block or allow user traffic. Moving on, the security profiles are global and applies to all the traffic traversing FortiSASE SIA. These profiles come pre-configured with recommended settings but can be customized as per business requirements. Here we can see antivirus policy is configured to inspect traffic on all protocols. I have customized web filter profile to block some of the categories for the sake of this demo. Here we also get the option to configure static URL filters to block or exempt web pages from specific sources, along with content filters to block web pages containing words or patterns defined in the filter. Moving forward, IPS is left to recommended settings. We can change IPS settings to protect against critical vulnerabilities, or we can set it to monitor only mode. The file filter is strictly based on file types, and we can block or monitor file upload based on the available list of extensions. DLP feature is also available on FortiSASE SIA, where we can block any data exfiltration attempts by utilizing the predefined filters or creating custom filter based on regular expressions. I will be covering the use of both predefined filters and regular expressions as part of this demo. Application control feature provides granular control on the traffic flowing through FortiSASE SIA. Here we can allow, monitor, or block certain application categories based on business requirements. Application override feature provides additional flexibility to block individual applications irrespective of the allow action configured for the entire group. FortiSASE SIA also offers SSL inspection functionality with support for TLS version 1.3. For this demo, I have enabled deep inspection utilizing the default CA certificate on the FortiSASE portal. Here, we also get the option to pick and choose certain URL categories which we want to exempt from SSL inspection. This concludes the configuration section. Now, let's move on to Windows PC to cover different security use cases. Here, in the FortiClient console, we can see that the endpoint is managed by FortiClient Cloud, and under the Remote Access tab, we can see the user T. Conley is connected to FortiSASE SIA. Now, let's get started with our first use case of data loss prevention. I will try to upload Excel file with credit card data and couple of Word documents with content matching the regex-based DLP filter. The content matching the DLP filters is present in document body for one file and footer section of another. Now let's wait for the upload progress. Here we can see upload for all three files has failed. Now let's move back to FortiSASE portal and verify the DLP filter logs. Here in the DLP filter log, we can see multiple attempts to upload all three documents have been successfully blocked. Now let's jump back to Windows PC and cover other use cases. Since gambling is blocked by web filter profile, any attempts to navigate to such website will be blocked and response page will be presented to the user. Similarly, we have blocked social media category under application control. As a result, any attempts to access website or application will be appropriately blocked. Now let's take a look at web content filtering. We have defined pattern-based filter under web filter to match words like bully and violence. Now any web pages that contain these words will be blocked along with searches on popular search engines like Google, Bing, Yahoo, or on YouTube. Lastly, since we have enabled deep SSL inspection, we can make sure if it is working by checking the certificate. Here we can notice that the certificate for google.com is issued by FortiSASE, the default certificate we use for SSL inspection. Now let's go back to FortiSASE portal and verify the web filtering logs for the different use cases we have covered. Now I will filter the logs for action set to blocked. And here we can see searches blocked by web content filter for banned words like bully and violence on Google and YouTube. Web filter also blocked all traffic destined to websites that fall under gambling category. We can further filter these logs based on categories like spam URLs, phishing, malicious websites to monitor user activity. For example, we can choose proxy avoidance category to check if users are trying to evade proxy controls. This concludes the demo. Thank you for watching.